Behind closed doors in the Senate chambers, Senator John Kennedy just dropped a bombshell about what Elon Musk uncovered in America's spending records. The shocking revelations you're about to hear have sent shockwaves through Washington's corridors of power, challenging decades of unchecked government spending. I want to put into perspective what many of my Democratic colleagues have been talking about today. They're very, very, very upset with President Trump. They're just as upset with Elon Musk. When President Trump ran for office, he made it crystal clear, almost every single day, that if elected, he would go through the entire budget, reviewing every dollar of spending line by line. If I heard him say it once, I must have heard it 1,000 times. And that's exactly what he's doing now. Today, you're about to witness the moment one of America's most outspoken senators reveals the shocking truth about where your tax dollars are really going. What started as a simple audit exposed a web of questionable spending stretching from the streets of Guatemala to conflict zones in the Middle East. Most billionaires, when asked to help the government, send their lawyers. But Elon Musk isn't like most billionaires. With a top-secret security clearance and a directive straight from the president, Musk was given one simple mission: follow the money, wherever it leads. But how can you audit spending without actually reviewing it? How do you expect to find waste if agencies aren't properly scrutinized? That's the problem. Washington, D.C. treats common sense like it's illegal. And that's exactly what Musk is doing. He's assembled an elite team, and they're combing through every expense, every transaction, item by item. And my Democratic colleagues? They're absolutely furious. They've given speech after speech, arguing about the process, claiming Trump's executive order is unconstitutional. They've accused Musk of having conflicts of interest. Some even say he's sitting there writing down everyone's social security number just so he can use it for his own gain. But here's what's really important. Nobody wants to talk about what Musk has actually found. They don't want to discuss the reckless, wasteful spending he uncovered, the outrageous misuse of taxpayer money. And that's exactly the point of all this. A billionaire with no political ties, exposing the truth. This isn't just another routine government oversight. This is the world's most successful businessman gaining full access to America's financial secrets. In a city dominated by bureaucracy, where transparency is rare, Musk's appointment changed everything. Bringing in an outsider, especially one as powerful and independent as Musk, wasn't just a bold move, it was revolutionary. Musk couldn't be controlled. He wasn't bound by the usual pressures of political influence. And that made him dangerous to Washington's power brokers. Senator Kennedy's tone shifts as he describes the unprecedented pushback against Musk's investigation. The resistance wasn't subtle. It came from every level of government: career officials, longtime administrators, even some elected representatives. And why? Because suddenly, for the first time, they were being held accountable. Oh my God. Look at what Musk is doing. He's actually looking at the spending. I've listened to people talk nonstop about legal technicalities, about process and procedures, but not one person, not a single critic of Trump or Musk, has addressed what Musk actually uncovered: foreign aid, or a black hole of waste. Now, let's talk about where your hard-earned tax dollars have really been going. Musk's investigation uncovered stunning facts about the United States Agency for International Development, USAID. This agency, meant to be America's humanitarian face to the world, has been involved in some jaw-dropping spending decisions. Here's what Musk discovered. White heavy checkmark: the American taxpayer is giving millions of dollars to Afghanistan. White heavy checkmark: millions more sent to Yemen. White heavy checkmark: and even more money flowing straight into Syria. $40 billion in funding. 10,000 employees and money pouring into some of the most volatile regions on Earth. And that's just the beginning. Police Starlight: USAID funded electric vehicles in Vietnam. Police Starlight: it paid for a transgender clinic in India. Police Starlight: it sent $1.5 million to a Serbian LGBTQ+ group for diversity training in workplaces. Who approved all this? Why wasn't the public told? And it gets worse. Millions flowing to radical organizations. One of the most explosive discoveries came when Musk dug deeper into USAID's spending. He found that $164 million was given to organizations linked to extremism.
Let me repeat that.
$164 million. Moneybag $122 million of that went to groups with known terrorist connections. Moneybag some of that money? Traced directly to organizations in Gaza, controlled by Hamas. And yet, my colleagues don't want to talk about that. Police Scarlet American tax dollars were funneled into groups that openly call for cleansing their land from the impurity of Jews. Why isn't this front-page news? This isn't a small mistake. This is a national security crisis. Spending porn. The waste gets even worse. What else did Musk find? Money with Wings $2 million for sex changes in Guatemala? Money with Wings $20 million to create a Sesame Street show in Iraq? Money with Wings $4.5 million to combat disinformation in Kazakhstan? Money with Wings $10 million in food aid for an al-Qaeda-linked terrorist group? And, perhaps the most ridiculous of all, Money with Wings $8 million to train journalists in Sri Lanka on how to avoid binary gendered language. What the hell even is binary gendered language? Do you think the average taxpayer would support this? The final truth, and the $36 trillion question. At this point, the American people are waking up. They see what's happening. The real question isn't who needs to pay more in taxes? No, the question is, what the hell happened to all the money? Police Carlight national debt? $36 trillion. Police Carlight government budget? Up 55% since 2019. Police Carlight population growth? Just 2%. The math doesn't add up. And instead of cutting spending, Biden kept spending more. American Rescue Plan, $1.9 trillion. Infrastructure Bill, $1.2 trillion. Inflation Reduction Act, $1 trillion. CHIPS Act, hundreds of billions more. And that is why Trump picked Elon Musk for the job. Musk is exposing what nobody else in Washington wants to admit. The verdict: give Musk a medal. This isn't just about wasteful spending, it's about decades of corruption hidden in plain sight. And Musk is finally pulling back the curtain. We should be thanking him. And when his audit is finished, the real question is, how much more will he find? Because one thing is certain, this is just the beginning.